Today's 30 for 30 presentation is brought to you by Buick Verano.
On May the 4th, 1999, a legend was born. One who overcame adversity, was considered by many to be the greatest the world has ever seen. The flick of his wrist not only changed Frisbee golf, but the world itself. This is the story of Chandler with sports, the rise and the fall and the future.
You're talking about the greatest disc golf player of all time. You're talking about a guy who would go out in the worst of conditions. I saw him in a blizzard with sandals. I saw him out there with a bro tank on once. And of course, his signature with sports jerseys.
From that moment and then seeing him on the world tour, hitting that final putt to set the record and win. I was watching that, and I was in California at the time watching it, and when he hit that, the house I was at erupted. Everyone went crazy. We were so excited.
He has completely transcended the sport, an entire generation, and quite possibly the world based on his play. Man, it really, I get emotional thinking about it.
Talk about the greatness of Chandler. I mean, how much time do we have? Books, not like children's books. I'm talking like Encyclopedia Britannica volumes of books could be written about this young man's greatness. I mean, it was beautiful. It was inspiring. I would see him throw a disc, and I'd have this overwhelming feeling to write, to sing, to dance, to perform limericks. I've never done a limerick, but I just felt like I needed to do a limerick watching this poetry in motion that was Chandler. Was he dominant? Absolutely. I mean, people will be quick to say, like Tiger Woods dominant in golf, but that pales in comparison to Chandler's dominance. I mean, maybe if Tiger were playing golf against 5-year-olds who were left-handed, maybe that would compare to the dominance that we're talking about. But this was just something, man, that I have never seen before.
Last year, we started our football season slow. We went 1-2, and Chandler was gracious enough to pull me aside and said, "Hey, I can help you. I want to work with you." Pulled me aside one day. We started tossing the old pigskin, and it just sparked my career right there. Chandler taught me how to throw a football, and from there, we never lost a game and won the state championship that year. And without Chandler, I would have no success. Thank you, Chandler.
But on one gloomy Tuesday afternoon, everything went downhill for With Sports. He was never the same. It is believed the following is what caused his retirement and began his addiction to sugar.
I try to avoid that day. I don't think I've ever spoken of that day since it happened. And yet I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a Tuesday in April, Columbia period. I had no idea what we were doing at the time, but as I look back now, I realize we took a young, delicate, beautiful flower. I mean, a tulip sparkling in the first mid-spring rain of his illustrious career. And we strapped him into that harness and had no idea that at that very moment we were destroying something beautiful. We broke a legend that day. One pull of the ripcord, and the next thing we know, we hear this horrific shrieking noise that apparently was coming from Chandler. But my ears are still ringing from the horror of that scream that I heard that day. And we broke a legend.
Due to a series of unfortunate events, sugar began to overrun Chandler's life.
Chandler, oh my gosh, he's our favorite. He comes down here every single day. And Fruit Loops, we have trouble keeping them in stock because Chandler, well, he's got a problem. He eats the most sugar and the most unhealthy food, and we talk to him all the time about getting something maybe a little bit healthier for him, but he seems to be fixated on sugar. It's a problem. We've even talked to him about his account because he spends $40 or $50 a week at the bistro. So we're really hoping that Chandler can get control of his addiction to sugar and really straighten up and eat some healthy food.
I remember one time when I can kind of see things start to go downhill. He just disappeared at practice one day. He said he had to go to the bathroom, and 20 minutes go by, and I'm looking for him. And so I run downstairs. I was frantic, worried about him, and there he was, stuffing his face with Butterfingers. He had a plate of syrup. There was a waffle in there somewhere. Sixlets, Snickers, Nutrageous, you name it. It's a pretty devastating sight.
I thought he would overcome it. I mean, if you can overcome the snowstorm of 16, how can you not overcome something like a simple drug addiction? But man, to see him go, the greatest disc golf player of all time at Valor Christian High School, even though, let's make this clear, I think personally it's in the world. The greatest disc golf player in the world is retiring because of a drug addiction. Another lost soul. It's too bad for the sport.
Stephen A., how surprising was his announcement right now?
I wasn't that surprised. I was more sad than surprised. As far as I'm concerned, it came obviously a little bit too late, but it is what it is. He's earned the right to do that. It was something that, he came into this season with the mentality that he was trying to discover what exactly he had left. He knew the work that he put in. He knew he was getting tired of the conditioning and what it took to be ready. He thought that he would have more left because the last 2 years he had played a grand total of 41 games, 6 a couple of years ago, just 35 last year or so. And he just thought that he would have an opportunity to do more, even though it was his 20th year in the league. But you got to remember, he was accustomed to being a champion.
We're all great legends. I mean, some fade into obscurity. Chandler, I don't know. He could be huddled up underneath some waffle at this point. He could be on his 17th smoothie, trying to re-harness that beauty that once was. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see Chandler again.
No one knows where he is now. Some say that he's dead. Others say his return is forthcoming. The truth is, no one really knows. What we do know is his story will live on in the hearts and minds of humanity forever.